welcome everyone to the Rocky Mountain Miracle Center 11 a.m. service class, and wonderful. So let's just take a couple of minutes just to breathe, allow our minds to actually be where our bodies are. I know it's a radical concept. We're going to bring our minds from the past and bring our minds out of the future and allow our minds to just rest and relax in the present moment. Breathing, beautiful, beautiful. All right. So this holy instant now, do we give to you, Spirit? Be you in charge. For we would follow you, Spirit, certain that your direction does bring us peace. Spirit of truth, Spirit of healing, we acknowledge your presence. We acknowledge that you are the self that we share. And we give to you this healing circle today, that you might use it to give us the guidance and the healing and the comfort that is your will for us. Be you in charge. Decide for healing for every one of us here, every one of us watching now or later. We thank you for this opportunity, love, to listen to the truth, the loving truth about us together, and to be healed by this loving truth together. We thank you for these mighty companions, these beautiful, radiant aspects of ourselves surrounding us today. We thank you for them. We recognize that they have been sent by you to not let us forget our innocence, that we are loving and lovable. Thank you, Spirit, and be you in charge. And to that we say, so be it. All right, you guys. Okay, so where we're at today is chapter 18, section 7 in the original edition. Which section is it in the blue covered edition? So 18.7 or 18? 18.7. I need do nothing. I need do nothing. Okay, bye. How often during a day do you hear that from anywhere, anytime? Hey, you need do nothing. And it's like my brain would explode. Like, what do you mean I need do nothing? Don't you see my list? I have a lot of things that I have to do. For peace, for joy, etc., etc. All right, so this is a really beautiful, powerful section. It's one of my favorite sections in the book. Really powerful. It is long, and so we're gonna just see how far we can get into it. Does everybody see where it's at? 18.7. Here we go. 18.7. I need do nothing. First it says, you still have too much faith in the body as a source of strength. Okay, check. Got me already, course. For instance, what plans do you make that do not involve the body's comfort or protection or enjoyment in some way? Anyone? All right. That's how you know that you still have too much faith in the body as a source of strength is because all our plans that we're making absolutely involve the body's comfort, protection, or enjoyment in some way. That's how we know that we have too much faith in the body's source of strength. He says, when all your plans are around the body, then this makes the body an end and not a means in your interpretation. So when all the plans you make are something about the body, that lets you know that the body is not just a means of communication, it's the end, it's the goal, it's all about the body. Okay, so it says, and when the body is what it's all about, when the body is the goal, then this always means that you still find guilt and sin attractive. Who knew? Who knew that when it's all about the body, that really is me saying, I'm all into guilt. I'm way into guilt. I love guilt. I'm into it. It's very useful. It's very helpful in controlling others and others controlling me. So I'm way into it. Okay. So when the body has become the goal, the end, not just the means in your interpretation of the body, then what you're saying is my goal is guilt. My goal is sin. Okay? That's what you're saying. And it says you still find guilt and sin attractive. Okay? So when what you're wanting to experience is something around the body, what you're saying is I really want guilt, because the end result of going for your peace and happiness through something of the body ends up in you feeling bad, and then you making someone feel guilty about it. You know, you're going for peace through your body. It never works. It never satisfies you. Instead of going, oh, I'm not happy because I was going for happiness through the body. No, we go, who did this to me? Who made me feel this way, and how do they need to change? Oh, I know, some guilt. You see how it goes, where when the body is your goal and you think the body is going to make you happy or peaceful, what ends up happening is guilt or a concept of sin. Okay? Whoever we think has deprived or disappointed us, that's the one that we're going to give guilt to. Okay? So it says, and no one accepts atonement for themselves, which means no one accepts the truth of their guiltlessness for themselves when they still accept sin and guilt as their goal. So I didn't realize that when I'm going for peace and joy and fulfillment and satisfaction through something physical, that I'm really going for guilt and sin. I didn't realize that. I just thought I'm just, doing what I learned how to do. If you want to be happy, go change something about the body. Go get something else for your body. Do something different with your body and you'll be happy, okay? I didn't realize that that's me still finding guilt and sin attractive. And that is the opposite of me accepting the truth for myself. It says, no one accepts the truth for themselves who still accepts the body or guilt as their goal. Because you have thus not met your one responsibility. What's your one responsibility as a healer, as a teacher, is to accept the truth for yourself. That's the one responsibility of the healer, the teacher, the miracle worker. Stop trying to figure out how to get everybody else to accept the truth and just focus on accepting it for yourself. That's plenty enough. That's plenty difficult enough to accept the truth for myself. And the truth in this situation, according to this, is the opposite of guilt. What's our truth? Guiltlessness. Guiltlessness, in a sense, that is the truth. And he says, of course, Miracles is telling us our one responsibility as healers and teachers is to accept the fact of our guiltlessness and sinlessness for ourselves. Don't worry about everybody else. Okay? But you can't have your one responsibility. You can't accept that one truth about guiltlessness for yourself while guilt is still your goal. And guilt is still your goal when your goal has something to do with the body. What's your goal? Well, I'm going to get some of this. I'm going to achieve some of that. I'm going to become some of this. That's all about the body. So you can't accept the release from guilt for yourself while the body has anything to do with your goal, your purpose. What is your purpose? Does it have anything to do with the body, or is it something about accepting your own guiltlessness for yourself right here, right now? Okay, we have to remember what our real purpose is. And when you're experiencing guilt, whether you're giving it to others because of anger or you're receiving guilt from others, it's because you've forgotten your real purpose. You've forgotten your real purpose. You've forgotten the only thing that really can make you happy. You've forgotten the only thing that really can bring you peace and joy and abundance. And it has nothing to do with the body. It's about accepting the truth for yourself. And then you say, oh, I forgot my purpose. I forgot what to decide for. I forgot what I wanted. Oh yeah, I forgot. I was thinking that something from the body would make me happy. I forgot. Oh yeah. My new goal in this holy instant is to accept my own guiltlessness and innocence for myself right now. All right, now you're back on track for real peace, okay? So it says, atonement, which is your release from guilt, is not welcomed by those who prefer pain and destruction. Wow. So if you're looking for, if your goal has anything to do with the body, then you are someone who prefers pain and destruction. Oh, that's where all that pain and destruction came from. I thought it came from being in a crazy world. I thought it came from the parents that I had. I thought it came from you know who. Now really, the pain and destruction is coming because I still value guilt, which means I still value I still believe the body can give me something that I want, which is the same thing as saying I still believe the world can give me something that I want. And that's why I'm always upset. That's why I'm always disappointed. That's why I'm full of despair. That's why I'm so angry. Because I'm looking for happiness through something that can never give it to me. So I'm pissed. And now I'm going to use guilt to blame whoever I think is the one who deprived me. Not realizing that I don't have peace and happiness because I'm looking in all the wrong places. I'm looking in all the wrong places, the body. And so all my plans are all about the body. And then I wonder, why am I so unfulfilled and angry and upset and disappointed all the time? Because I forgot that my only purpose is to experience my own happiness through accepting the truth about myself. All right, beautiful. Now, in the original edition, you tell me if these first few words are in yours. But it says, you have made much progress. Is that in the blue book? Okay. So I'm reading out of the original dictation, and there's a few different words, not many, but in the original dictation it says, you have made much progress. Well, thank you, teacher. It's always helpful to hear. And you are really trying to make still more progress. Isn't that nice? It's encouraging from our teacher, the author of the course. I realize that you have made much progress and you're still trying to make much more. Okay, so a little acknowledgement from our teacher. Thank you, teacher, voice of the course. He says, but there is one thing you have never done. That's in your book right here? Yes, great. What could that be? Well, not for one instant have you utterly forgotten the body. That's right. We're like, hey, forgot about but not for one instant have we forgot about the body. Oh my, what happens if even for one instant you forget about the body? What happens? If that's the one thing we haven't done, then that must be some good stuff. That must be some really, really good stuff. It says, now the body has faded at times from your sight, okay? But the body has not yet completely disappeared. Oh, interesting practice here. And it says, and you are not asked to let the body disappear for more than an instant. But it is in this instant that you forget about the body that the miracle of your healing happens. Wow. So where is it? I need a healing. Okay, I need to forget about the body for a few moments. Maybe an instant. How powerful must that experience of forgetting about the body for an instant be, that in that one instant you experience your healing, the miracle of your healing. Wow. That must be a powerful instant. What must happen in that moment? When you're like, when in your awareness, you are not thinking about something related to a body. In your awareness, all you're remembering is spirit, oneness, that which is eternal, that which is, not separate, oneness, eternal, something that has nothing to do with the body. Truth, our eternal nature, our spiritual nature, the fact of our unity, our oneness. These are things that when you forget about the body for an instant, these are the things that you experience. And as you experience the fact of that we are one spirit, deathless, timeless, forever connected, that we experience the miracle of our healing. When you remember your truth, when you remember what you are, meaning not a body, that is how you experience healing. According to A Course in Miracles, healing happens when you remember that you are not a body. When you accept for a moment, I'm not a body, I'm not separate, I'm not mortal, I'm not fallible, I'm not full of sin, I cannot die, I'm not separate, I'm not a body, I'm a spirit. That's how you heal the mind, which then heals the body, according to A Course in Miracles. So you see here what the section is, the goal here, the goal of the practice. One of the goals of the practice of A Course in Miracles is to, for a holy instant, forget about the body. That's part of the practice of A Course in Miracles that is so healing. Okay? All right. So, beautiful. Then it says, after you forget about the body for one instant, after you forget about the body for one instant, you will see your body again and other people's bodies, but never quite the same. I love it. Once you forget about it for a moment and then you come back to it, it looks totally different. You're going to look at it. You'll never look at it the same again. Like a prison house, for instance. Wouldn't that be nice? I forgot about the body for a moment. I remembered my eternal nature as a spirit who cannot die and has everything. And then when I came back, it didn't feel so heavy. It didn't feel like a prison house. It didn't feel like my prison guard who's always like, get back in line, get back down, get back in line. Remember, you have some needs. That's my body. Remember, you have some needs. Oh yeah, more needs. Yes, here's some need. You have some more needs. That's what our body's always reminding us about. You have some need. You need to eat, you need to sleep, you need to have some fun, you need to have some pleasures, you need some more clothes, you need a job, your dog needs to be fed, you need to call your friends back. Need. It's like the need warden. I was just about to be free for a second, like, no, you can't be free, you got some needs. You got lots of needs. That's what the body is, just a constant need generator. It's always needy. Talk about a high maintenance relationship. Yeah. You don't realize that you're in an extremely high maintenance relationship, whether you realize it or not. So for a moment, we're just gonna have to say to our body, I'm just not into you. It's nothing personal, body. I'm just not into you right now. And the body, exactly. The body's like, oh yeah? Didn't you notice you're hungry? Didn't you notice you're horny? Didn't you notice you need to do your laundry?
It's not me, it's you.
That's right, exactly. That's what we need to tell. That's what we tell the body. It's not me, it's you. I'm just not into you for this moment. All right. So I love that. So every instant that you forget about your body for just an instant, not only do you experience healing, but when you come back to your body will never look the same to you. It won't look like a prison house anymore. It won't look like a jailer or a warden, you know, telling you to get back in that cage of need. Okay? Beautiful. So, it says, at no single instant does the body exist at all. At no single instant, meaning present moment. An interesting metaphysical kind of statement there. At no single instant in the moment, in the present moment, does the body exist at all. What do you mean, Course in Miracles? Course in Miracles is always explaining itself, so don't stop. If you don't understand something, just keep reading, because it's always explaining, because it knows it's talking to a bunch of spiritual kindergartners. You know, so it's like, okay, it says a statement, and it goes, what that means is, and then it's like, and what that means is, so it literally is talking to us, so it's always explaining itself, because we're like the little kids like, but why? But why? But why? But why? And so it literally speaks to us like we are those little kids. Okay, so it says, at no single instant does the body exist at all. Why? Because the body is always remembered or anticipated, but the body is never experienced just now. Ooh, very interesting. Only the body's past and future make the body seem real. And I don't know if you've noticed, but time controls the body entirely. You noticed? Why? Because sin and guilt is never in the present. Isn't that interesting? If you think about that, whatever you feel guilty about, isn't it always something about what happened in the past or what could happen in the future? When are you ever feeling guilty about something right now? You're always feeling guilty about something that you learned from the past or something that could happen in the future. And if that's true about guilt, then it's saying, and then it was talking about the connection between guilt and the body, then that's also the same about the body. Same about guilt, same about the body. Of course, a miracle says that the body was not made by God. It's a very radical statement that A Course in Miracles makes that you don't hear from other spiritual, metaphysical, in any kind of philosophy. The Course in Miracles says, but since you made the body, the Course in Miracles says we wanted to be like, well, how about we just be separate and not be my own God? That's where the Course in Miracles says that the body and the world came from, and the body and the world are the same thing, basically, because everything in the world is for the body. And so the body came from the desire to separate, and that's where guilt came from. That's what guilt is. Guilt is, I'm separate. We're separate, and so now I need to be afraid, and now I have lack, and now I'm have to be afraid because now I'm going to die. So, the Course in Miracles, and here, as you can see, that guilt and the body came from the same place. Now, but the truth of the body and the truth about guilt is it is a future and a past concept. It does not exist in the reality of the present moment. Guilt and the body are two ideas that take form that do not exist in the present moment. Those are two ideas, the body and guilt and sin, that is controlled 100% by time. Okay, in other words, you can only believe in guilt if you're going to be going in the future or believing in the past. If you are wholly in the present right now, then there is no guilt and there is no body. Isn't that interesting? Wow. Okay, that's one of those metaphysical concepts from A Course in Miracles that you can't understand just by hearing the words. You'll only understand it as you have an experience. That's what A Course in Miracles says.
Yeah, so on that point, what I'm realizing is that my ideas of the present are not accurate.
Right.
And my example that I'm thinking of right now is if I'm feeling really guilty about something or miserable or whatever, I'm thinking, damn, in this moment, I feel really crappy.
Mm-hmm, yep.
But this is telling us that what I'm really doing is focus on something that I did in the past. I'm deliberately keeping my attention on the past, but experiencing it in what I call the now.
That's right.
And the related comment I wanted to share is that the first baby steps in experiencing what the Course is calling this holy instant, the real present now, are lessons 41 and 45. They're the very first baby steps of going past my ideas of what's going on, including God is the mind in which I think.
Yes, absolutely, very much so. That's right. We're learning how to experience really the present moment. You know, we think of the present moment as I'm sitting here thinking about the past or what I'm going to do in the future. Right. All right.
Another idea along those lines is what I tell myself, there's a section in the Course, if this, then that. So I catch myself thinking, when I think I'm in the present moment, I'm not, because my thinking goes along the lines, if this thing, then that thing, and it always has to do with the past.
Yeah. The Course in Miracles is telling us that that all of our perception is based on the past, to the point that there was the workbook lesson, I see only the past. In other words, our senses are only perceiving concepts from the past, and that anything that doesn't match, anything that we see, any sensory data that doesn't match what we believe and have learned from the past, we don't see. We literally do not see, and we literally do not hear. You know, and that's what, you know, biophysics tells us about our senses, that senses are only, they were made to perceive only what's not there. These eyes were made not to see. That's what they were made for, not to see.
Or we call it a glitch in the matrix.
Exactly. So interesting, which tells me a lot that how to have an experience in your body where time is not controlling your body completely. How to have an experience outside of the body that transforms the body. Okay. If you're not using the body as the goal, remember it said you're using it as a means to an end, you're not using it as the end, then you're going to have a different experience of being in a body. Okay. So the best way to have a lighter, easier, gentler, more peaceful, healthy, happy experience having a body is to periodically and consistently escape your body. Forget about your body for as long as you can, and have that be your spiritual practice, so that you experience and have an experience of who you really are, and that when you come back to your body, you don't see your body like you used to see your body. You know, like with a lot of judgment and fear and guilt.
What is coming to my mind about God is my strength, well, when I'm at a place where God is my strength, then, and when I think I'm seeing in the body, and then I'm fearful, the guilt, attack thoughts, I'm not seeing it as serving me.
Right.
And when I recognize that everything is here to serve me, and I'm not separate from it, then it's more helpful.
Exactly. Now the body is helpful instead of a prison house or a jailer or something that's a heavy anchor. Right, exactly. And that's what the Course in Miracles tells us, that if you were to see your body correctly as a means, as a communication device instead of the end, then your body would be a healthy, serviceable instrument for a while until you no longer needed it, and then you would just lay it down when it has no more use for you. And I'm like, that's the kind of experience I'd like to have. You know, when it's time to lay my body down, that's the kind of experience I want to have. It has served me well. And then now it has no more use, and you lay it down. So, yes,
So this is, for me, it's like this is where miracles come in.
Mm-hmm.
That what I see based on what I've believed or what I've seen before. That's the way I see things.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes changing that perception. Like I'm determined to see in truth or see differently. And when I choose that, that's when the miracle comes.
That's right.
through.
That's when the miracle of
It's not
healing
that
happens.
body.
Exactly. The miracle of healing doesn't come from the body. It comes from forgetting about the body for an instant. And how do you best forget about the body? Remember who you are beyond the body. You are not a body. You are a spirit that can't be contained by a body. That's what heals the body and the mind. Yeah, beautiful. Yes.
Is this kind of what Eckhart Tolle talks about, that space in between your thoughts?
Yeah. Yes.
He talks so much about the present moment.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of space. in
Yes, exactly. So that you're experiencing the mind, you know, instead of the body. You know, we are a mind inside of the mind of God. And we're not, but that's not how we experience ourselves. We experience ourselves as a body with a ton of needs, you know. And so, you know, it's an experience of remembering yourself as a mind, as a spirit, and having that experience. That's who you really are. That's when you're really getting real. That's what it means to get real. You know. So then it says, he says, paragraph 3, at no single instant does the body exist at all. The body is always remembered or anticipated, but never experienced just now. Only the body's past and future make the body seem real. Time controls the body entirely because guilt and sin is never present. Or you can say the body is never present. In any single instant, the attraction of the body and guilt would be experienced as pain and nothing else. And the attraction of the body would be avoided. The body has no attraction now. The body's whole attraction is imaginary, and therefore the body's attraction must be thought of from the past or in the future. Wow. Very interesting. So if you were truly in the present moment, the attraction to the body would be experienced as pain. Woo, we experience attraction to the body as pleasure. He's like, if you were perceiving correctly and you were in the present moment, the thought of the body would be like, ew, no, not the body, right? If you were in the present moment, the idea of the body would be like, oh, why would I want to shove myself into something this big and I'm this big? You know, why would I want to do that? Right? It would be experienced as pain. It says in paragraph 4, it is impossible to accept a holy instant. So we already heard what a holy instant is. It's a moment you forget about the body. It's impossible to accept a moment where you forget about the body without reservation unless just for an instant you are willing to see no past or future. So how do you accept a holy instant where you forget about the body? Where you forget about the body? How do you do it? You say, I am willing to see no past or future for a moment. And notice it didn't say the holy instant is where you are able to see no past or future. It says a moment where you are willing, to see no past or future. I am willing to see no past or future right now is a moment where I can accept a holy instant, which is where I forget about my body for a moment, and then I get to experience a moment where I'm able to accept the truth about myself. which heals me, which heals my mind, and then my body. All right, I am willing to see no past and future. That's a holy instant. Okay? That's a healing instant. So next time you are experiencing some kind of pain, body, mind, or spirit, instead of what do I need to give my body so that I'm not experiencing this pain, what you may want to do first before you reach for the ibuprofen or the whatever is tell yourself, go for a holy instant. I am willing for just a moment to what? To see no past or no future. I am willing to remember myself as not a body. I'm willing to experience myself as a spirit beyond the body. I'm willing to go beyond the body. I'm willing to see no past or future. Okay? And just practice. Okay? That, and then if you still need that ibuprofen after you have practiced that healing instant, real healing, then go get it, you know? But every time, you know, the practice of the truth is something that's cumulative. Every time you practice the truth, every time you practice, Course in Miracles calls it practicing the holy instant. It doesn't say accomplishing the holy instant, it goes practicing the holy instant, because that's what we're doing. But every time you practice it, remember he says, every time after that practice, you're going to see your body differently. Your body's going to look differently to you, which means it's going to look lighter, healthier, less needy than before, less as an anchor, less as a burden. Okay? Beautiful. Now, you cannot prepare for the holy instant without placing it in the future. So you can't be like, next Tuesday at 5 p.m., I am going to have a holy instant where I forget about my body. And I've got it on my Google Calendar. All right. Google alert. Escape body. Oh, I've got a Google alert for escaping my body. Says I'm supposed to be escaping my body right now.
That goes against the IVs do nothing.
That's right. Thank you. Exactly. Exactly. So you can't prepare for that instant where you forget about your body without placing this instant in the future. So it's not about preparing for it. It says release is given you the instant you desire it. So we could say healing is given you the instant that you desire it. So release from the body is given you the instant you desire to escape the body in your mind for a moment. It's interesting. So healing is not something you can put in the future. It's not something you can prepare for. It's something you accept now or never, because healing is something you experience now. Right. Okay. So then it says, many people have spent a lifetime in preparation for escaping the body. And many people have indeed achieved their instance of success. This Course in Miracles does not attempt to teach more than these folks learned in time, but A Course in Miracles does aim at saving time. Okay, so lots of people have spent years trying to detach from their body. I'm going to go to a cave in the Himalayas. I'm going to detach from my body. I'm gonna. And it says, and now he says those folks, they've had their instance of success where they've escaped from the body and remembered their eternal nature and experienced healing and joy. But this Course in Miracles aims at you having that experience without it taking 25, 30, 50 years, 5 lifetimes. Okay? Hallelujah. It's like, please save me some time. I don't have that much time to go to the Himalayas and find a good cave, you know, that has some good, you know, southern facing exposure and some, you know, nice soft, you know, all the time I need to get the sheepskin rug up there and nice candles and, you know, a little heater and all the things I need for my body. It's like, I can escape from my body if I have some nice sheepskin rugs and some heat and some candles and, you know, some incense, you know. all the things that my body needs so that I can escape from my body. It's kind of funny, but that is how I do it. It's like, I'm gonna meditate and escape my body, but first I need about 25 things all around me. And I need a cup of coffee, I need some tea, you know. It's like, you need all that for your body in order to escape your body. Okay, all right, that makes sense. All right. No, but see, exactly. Release from my body is giving me the instant I desire it, not when I have the nice, conditions for my body. Now, so it says, you are attempting to follow a very long road to the goal of escaping your body that you have accepted. For instance, it is extremely difficult to reach the truth by fighting against the body or fighting against sin. That is the very long road that we have accepted. Okay, so in other words, I'm going to get, the way that I'm going to get to enlightenment is I'm going to fight against the body. Okay, I'm going to fight again. I'm going to deprive my body of this. I'm going to remake my body like this. I'm going to get my body in shape like this. I'm going to deprive my body like this. I'm going to fight against my body. Okay, says you are attempting to follow a very long road to the goal of escaping your body because it's extremely difficult to reach your goal, the truth, by fighting against the body, which is like fighting against sin. Enormous effort is expended in the attempt to make holy what is hated and despised. So the way that we are trying to escape the body is hating the body, attacking the body, or depriving the body to be what? Holy. Okay? What do we associate with holy people? They deprive their bodies of something. This kind of food, sex, relationships, so that's the way we've been trying to escape the body, is by denying the body, depriving the body, hating the body, which the Course says we despise. It's so obvious that we hate our bodies. I mean, look what we do. It's like, look at what we do to our bodies. It's like, oh, that's, oh, I need some of that. We look in the mirror and we don't go, whoa, beautiful. How many people do that? When you look in the mirror, you're like, oh my God, you're so gorgeous. You're so radiant. So the way we have been trying to become holy is by despising, denying, depriving, fighting against the body's urges. And that's the way we're trying to be holy. When he says that's a very long road to the goal of freedom, of accepting the truth for yourself. You don't have to fight against your body to accept the truth of your spiritual nature.
Or idolizing it.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Or someone else's.
Very popular around here. Exactly. It says enormous effort is expended in the attempt to make holy what is hated and despised. Wow. So if I can just fight against all my body's urges and needs and all that and transform my body into something different, then I will have that spiritual freedom. I will have that freedom of the mind. Okay? And that's what has gone for holy in the past. That's what has gone for holy. All right. It says, nor is a lifetime of contemplation and long periods of meditation aimed at detachment from the body necessary. So that's not necessary to experience spiritual awakening or healing, to be holy. Okay? Thank you, Matt. Thank you. And anyway, what I was saying. Thank you, Matt. Okay. Isn't that great to hear that you don't need to do a lifetime of contemplation and you don't have to do long periods of meditation aimed at detachment from the body? And she's like, yes, I don't have that much time anymore. I need the quick guide to peace. I need instant release. I need release now. I need instant, and it just talked about instant release. Instant release comes the instant you desire to forget about the body. And you don't have to spend long periods of meditation and a lifetime of contemplation and an enormous efforts of fighting against the body in order to experience peace of mind. You don't have to. I love hearing that. I can experience release the instant that I desire it. Okay? I can forget about the body and experience the healing of my mind the moment that I desire it. So it comes from desire. It doesn't come from fighting against the body. You know, I'm fighting giving in to what my body wants. I'm fighting giving in to what my body wants, that cheeseburger. My body wants that donut, and I gotta fight against that urge. Well, that means that the body is your goal. That means your body is your goal. And if your body is the goal, then you know what you're going to be feeling. A lot of guilt. You're going to be feeling a lot of fear. Because you can never get happiness from the body, from something the body has or does. So what you'll experience is a lot of disappointment. And then you'll feel guilty thinking that you're just not doing it good enough. Or that there's something wrong with you. All right. It says, all such attempts of detaching from the body will ultimately succeed. Okay, so if you have a lifetime of contemplation, you have that much time and you have time for long periods of meditation, that's great, because all such attempts will ultimately succeed. Why? Because of their purpose. But the means are tedious and very time consuming. Okay, so all the means we just said was long periods of meditation, a lifetime of contemplation, enormous effort expended in fighting against the body in order to be holy, says those means are tedious and very time consuming. For all of those means, look to the future for release from a state of present unworthiness and inadequacy. All of those means for detaching from the body or for enlightenment or being holy, what is it? They all look to the future. And when I have meditated for 20 years, when I have detached from the body, when I no longer am a slave to my body's urges and needs, then I will be free, then I'll be enlightened, then I'll be happy. They all look to the future release from a state of present unworthiness or inadequacy. Wow. Whereas you could just go, I am as God created me. That means I'm not inadequate, and that means that I'm not unworthy right now, because that's the way I was created. And I would like to experience the truth of that right now, which I can if I just forget about my body for a second. That's what A Course in Miracles is talking about. You know, accepting my worthiness and my adequacy now. That's what this curriculum is about. I accept the truth of my worthiness and adequacy right now. Okay? And it has nothing to do with what my body can get in the future or what my body had or didn't have in the past. That's what this curriculum is about. Saving time. Those folks who are doing a lifetime of contemplation and an enormous effort at fighting against their body, they will have moments where they realize, oh, I was created adequate and worthy by my Creator, and I didn't have to do all of this. They will have those moments where they realize that they were already created adequate and worthy in their creation, and they don't have to do anything. They'll get there, but it's just going to take a long time, and that's very tedious, and it sounds also very expensive. Do you know how much a meditation retreat costs these days? It's like, I want to get away and forget about my body, so I'm going to go pay $15,000 to go to Costa Rica so that I can forget about my body for an instant. Tedious and time consuming and very expensive. Or you could just, in this instant right now, forget about your body, which means accept the truth that you are adequate and worthy right now because you were created by God right now. And you are free from your body right now. You are a spirit who cannot be contained, who is eternal, who contains everything right now. Wow, I like this plan so much better. This is something I could do. This is something I could have success with. You know, the other plans, they're too tedious and they're too time consuming. I don't got that much time anymore. It says, and your way will be different. Hallelujah. So our way will be different, not in purpose, but in means. For instance, a holy relationship is a means of saving time. So our way is different. Our way is a holy relationship because that's what really saves us time. Why? Because one instant spent together restores the universe to both of us. Isn't that interesting? That our means is not long periods of contemplation and detachment from the body or fighting against the giving in to sin or guilt or denying or depriving the body. Our means that saves us time is being together. Isn't that interesting? Interesting. Apparently, not only one moment of forgetting about the body, but one moment of us being together also accomplishes, what is it? It says that restores the universe to both of us. So in other words, you know, I can either access that by forgetting about the body for a moment, or I can remember that I'm not a body and that I'm not separate and that I'm eternal when we're together, when we're joining. So when it says one instant spent together, to me, that means one moment when our minds are joined. One moment when our minds are joined, okay, is a moment when we are going beyond the body, because when our minds join, that's proof that we are not our bodies. That's our proof. All right. So, so beautiful. Then it says, you are prepared. Well, who knew? How often do you hear that? You're prepared. You're good. You're prepared. You're prepared. Don't worry about it. You're prepared. How often do we hear that? You are prepared. And so now all we need do is just remember you need do nothing. That's all we got to do. You need do nothing. And it would be far more profitable now merely to concentrate on this than to consider what you should do. Isn't that interesting? You are prepared, and, you know, I love it when he talks to us in terms we can recognize profitable. You know, it'd be more profitable. And so what would be profitable, and meaning save us time to reaching our goal, which is the experience of accepting the truth of ourselves and experiencing ourselves as free, is to just say, I need do nothing. I don't need to do anything. I'm already perfect and adequate as my Creator created me. I already am a spirit that is deathless and timeless and eternal and can't be contained by my body. I already last forever. I'm already not a body. I need do nothing. And he says it would be far more profitable just to concentrate on this. In paragraph 7, when peace comes at last to those who wrestle with temptation, which means people who fight against giving in to the body. It says, in other words, when the light comes at last into the mind given to contemplation, or when the goal is finally achieved by anyone, it always comes with just one happy realization. I need do nothing. And here is the ultimate release that everyone will one day find in their own way at their own time. But we who are together do not need this time. We don't have to wait because time has been saved for us. Why? Because we are together. Wow. This is the special means that this Course in Miracles is using to save you time. Wow, isn't that interesting? So I'm going to grab this real quick. I'll give this to you later, sweetie pie. All right, so questions or comments on that?
It's so hard because the ego feels like it has to fix.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, we see ourselves as human doings, not human beings. Yes, exactly. So, and that's why this curriculum makes extremely easy for us. It only is saying an instant, one instant, because it knows that is all that we can give to forget about the body and all our body's needs and all our body's urges. It knows that literally we can only do it one instant, if that. She goes, it didn't say 5 minutes. It didn't say 5 minutes. It didn't say 2 minutes. It didn't even say 1 whole minute. It said 1 instant, because it knows that is how long we can do it. And think of the power, the healing power that is accepted and received. Think of how powerful it must be where all it takes is 1 instant. What? That's some kind of power. Where all it takes is 1 instant, and then you've accepted the healing for yourself. That's some power.
It's helpful to remember that we always have a choice,
Mm-hmm.
and that we're making decisions all the time.
All the time.
And that when I make a decision to not be a body, but to be love, then I'm letting the limits melt away and suspending all the laws that I created, I chose
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
to be limited by.
Yes.
We always have a choice.
Exactly. And all it takes is an instant. All it takes is 1 instant. And 1 instant of what? Of saying to yourself, I need do nothing, is 1 instant when you are forgetting about the body. Because the body is all about needs. And then it's controlled entirely by time. So when you say, I need do nothing, then that is a moment when you are forgetting about the body. Because our body's all about need and a need to do. So when you say, I need do nothing, you literally have forgotten about the body. You have escaped the body in terms of your concept of yourself. For a moment, you must be not a body. If you need do nothing, then you must not be a body. Okay. Yes.
So in terms of the holy instant, in my experience, when you're in the holy instant, there's no thought of the past, there's no thought of the future. You're pretty much completely aligned with what's going on right now.
That's right. Exactly.
And I think in that experience of the holy instant, there's no thought.
Right.
There's no fear, there's no worry.
Yes.
You're absolutely just aligned with what is. I would just say it's just something like you're aligned with life.
Exactly. And it says, and that's when the miracle of your healing happens. That's when the miracle happens. The miracle of your healing, where you accept the truth about yourself. The Course in Miracles tells us that all the problems, all the suffering are coming, they are the result, they are the physical manifestation of us not knowing the truth about ourselves. About us thinking that we're limited, and that we're thinking we're guilty, and that we're thinking we're separate. That's where all the problems that we're suffering from come from. And so in that moment, when you remember the truth about yourself, that is when the healing of your mind happens.
It's a course in diminishing higher self-doubt.
Yeah.
Like we reduce that doubt. We don't have any more doubt. That holy instant is saying, I'm not doubtful about myself. The truth.
Yeah, exactly. I am adequate and worthy right now. You know, all these things that we've been doing has been looking to future release from a present state of unworthiness and inadequacy. Everything that we think we have to do in order to experience our worth and our adequacy is really what's keeping our awareness from us, that we are adequate and worthy right now. And as we experience, I am adequate and worthy right now because I was created by God, that's where all of our needs, get answered. That's where we are freed from all the needs. Yes? Mm-hmm. Yes, Julie, yeah. Mhm.
I'm whole, I'm complete.
Yes.
I'm enough.
Yes,
I can get through any obstacle with love.
exactly.
Kind of-
That's right. You're saying I'm not in need. The opposite of I'm in need is I'm whole and I have everything.
All you have to do is ask, and we're so supported.
Yes,
And once you have the confidence in that support, you'll choose again. for
That's-
that support.
exactly.
And picking up on that point, the confidence and the experience comes from practicing these holy instants. The Course talks about how the benefits of doing that are cumulative. And one of the ideas from a cameo that Robert Perry wrote about in the original edition was talking about how encouraging Helen to practice this more, because what he was saying was that she was creating a space for truth in her awareness, a safe space, if you will, in the eye, as an eye of the hurricane. While the chaos of the world swirled around her,
Yes.
she was developing experience, and he's asking us to do, by doing this practice, to do I need do nothing, is training our minds to have comfort and mastery over this idea
Yeah.
of I need do nothing.
Yes.
I am perfect in this holy instant.
Yes, that's right, exactly. And it goes on to talk about that very thing right there. So then in paragraph 8, it says, you are not making use of this Course in Miracles if you insist on using means that have served others well, neglecting what was made for you. Okay? So Course in Miracles is the way that was made for us. It says, save time for me by only this one preparation and practice doing nothing else. I need do nothing is a statement of allegiance, a truly undivided loyalty. And if you will believe it for just one instant, then you will accomplish what is given to a century of contemplation or of struggle against temptation. 100 years. If you will say, I need do nothing, you will be accomplishing more than what it has taken people 100 years of contemplation and struggle against temptation. Wow. Now talk about a time-saving device. Come on. And we all love things to save time, right? Okay, how about saving 100 years of contemplation and struggle against the body, struggle against temptation? Wow. That is some powerful time-saving tips. Time-saving tips from A Course in Miracles. My God, you will accomplish more if you believe it for just one instant. That's some powerful stuff. You believe it for one instant and you save yourself 100 years of meditation time and struggle against temptation. Wow.
That's why in the workbook we repeat so many times, I am not a body,
That's
I am
right.
free, I am still as God created.
Exactly. That's why A Course in Miracles has us repeating it over and over. The idea, I'm not a body, I am free, is one of the most frequently used ideas in A Course in Miracles, out of all the ideas. I love it. So then it says, and now it explains it. Why is it that to believe for one instant I need do nothing saves you, gives you, enables you to accomplish what's more than 100 years of contemplation and struggle against temptation? Because to do anything involves the body. So when you believe for one instant I need do nothing, that is how you are forgetting about the body. And if you recognize that you need do nothing, then you have withdrawn the body's value from your mind. And when you withdraw the body's value from your mind, here is the quick and open door through which you slip past hundreds of years of effort and escape from time. Whew. This is the way in which sin and guilt and the body loses all attraction right now. Because here, in the right now, time is denied, which means past and future gone. And who need do nothing has no need for time. Wow. So that was the mechanism. That's like the psychological, metaphysical mechanisms of how it is that when you believe for one instant I need do nothing, that you basically have escaped hundreds of years of effort related to the body and time, the past and future. You escape the body and you escape time. Wow. Because when you say I need do nothing, then what is it? You've withdrawn the body's value from your mind. When you withdraw the body's value from your mind, you slip past hundreds of years of effort toward your goal of peace of mind. And also the goal of accepting your inherent adequacy and worthiness. You can get your adequacy and worthiness in 100 years, or you can get it now. Which one? Which one do you want? Okay, I can have that awareness of my adequacy and worthiness in 100 years after tons and tons and tons enormous effort, or I can experience it now. Let's see, I don't know. Get back to me. Get back to me in a little while. All right, now paragraph 10, talking about what Matt was talking about. And this is the last paragraph. Are you ready? You ready to do nothing? All right, I'm ready to do nothing. Okay, here we go. All right. To do nothing is to rest and to make a place within you where the activity of the body ceases to demand attention. Okay? Then we're going to practice this at the end of class. We're actually going to do this as an exercise. Okay? But now it's telling you what it means to do nothing. What it means to do nothing is to rest and to make a place within you where the activity of the body ceases to demand attention. And into this place within you, the spirit of truth and healing comes and there abides, stays. And the spirit of truth and healing will remain when you forget, which means when the body's activities return to occupy your conscious mind. But after your body after you have returned to the body's activities, where the body's activities return to your conscious mind, there will always be this place of rest within you to which you can return. Wonderful. And after you do this practice, you will be more aware of the quiet center of the storm than all the storm's raging activity. This quiet center of the storm in which you do nothing will remain with you, giving you rest in the midst of every busy doing on which you are sent. Because from this quiet center within you will you be directed how to use the body guiltlessly. And it is this center, quiet center of the storm within you, from which your body is absent, that will keep the body absent in your awareness of this quiet center within you. Isn't that beautiful? So this practice is a practice of doing what? Of creating a place, making a place within you where the activity of the body ceases to demand your attention. That's what it means really to rest. That's what real rest means. You want to give yourself a real rest, the kind of rest that heals your mind and your body. That is making a place within you where the activities of the body cease to demand your attention. It's making a place within the storm of activity that is the world. That's a great description of the world. A storm of activity. A storm of activity. And you're making a quiet place within you amidst the storm of activity around you. And then, and it calls it raging activity. That's a great definition of the world. The raging activity that surrounds me. It says, but when you make a quiet center within you, where the activities of the body cease to demand your attention, you are making a quiet center within you that remains and gives you rest in the midst of every busy doing on which you are sent. So this practice gives you that quiet center in this middle, in the eye of the raging storm of activity all around you. So even though you are out in the world and you're busy and you're doing and so many activities, some of them raging activities, that you have a quiet center within you that from which you will be directed how to use your body lovingly, guiltlessly. Beautiful. And it's a quiet center within you where your body's absent, where it's not about your body. It's about this peace that's within you. And it says every time you make a quiet place within you where the activities of the body cease to demand your attention, in that instant, the spirit of healing and the spirit of truth enters and stays. Remember it said it enters and it abides. So it doesn't leave you. So when you go back into the busy, raging activity of the world, you know, that quiet center within you is there, and the spirit of healing is there within you, guiding you through the storm of activity on all your busy, what does it say, your worldly activities. You are being guided how to use your body guiltlessly, sinlessly. And when you use your body guiltlessly and sinlessly, now your body isn't a block to your peace of mind. Now your body is a healthy, serviceable instrument that has use for a little while. Wow, I love it. So that practice enables you to be guided from within how to use your body lovingly and guiltlessly as you go about your busy worldly activities.
Above the battleground.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's like that was like how to get above the battleground. This one is how to create a place of peace within you that remains even when you are out in the world doing all the body's needs, taking care of all the body's needs. So one is getting above the battleground, and now we're creating a quiet place, a quiet center that effectively becomes the quiet eye of the storm. So there's a way, when there's a storm, there is a way to remain in the quiet center of the storm. There is a way, and this is the way to do it. Whatever storm you've got going on, this is a way to remain in the quiet center of the storm, and also how, even though you're in the middle of a storm, to be guided for how to act and what to do and how to use your body lovingly and guiltlessly, so that even though there's a storm around you, you are acting lovingly, efficiently, productively. You're just, you're actually being helpful. You're actually being helpful in the midst of a storm. Beautiful. All right. Well, there you go. So now, questions or comments? Oh, let's do some questions and comments as we pass around the love offering basket. Beautiful. Hi, Mary. Mary says, the holy instant is my favorite understanding of ACIM. Forgetting perceived sin and remembering who I am simultaneously. Beautiful. Thank you, Mary. And hi, Carolina. Okay, yes. Peter.
When I first heard about the holy instant, I think my ego projected this idea that I'll achieve this instant and then the rest of my life will be fantastic.
Yes.
I think I like what Matt said about it's a cumulative effect. I'm starting to recognize that it's like streaming in all these moments of holy instances
that's
together.
right.
Because when I'm lost, I recognize that when I'm the most lost is when I'm the most far away from those instances.
Yes, exactly. And when I heard when we're lost, it's because we're searching for something of the body in the past or the future. That's what it means to be lost. My goal is something of the body, and now because of that, my mind is in the past or in the future, and I'm not right here, right now. And that's when I'm lost.
I think the reason why the course is so helpful is because our minds tend to be like this wild animal out of control.
Yes.
And the course brings structure that allows us to identify with it, and it kind of brings us into the stillness.
Yes.
This quiet stillness where we just sit down. And it's funny because we'll have an exercise like I need to do nothing, but doing the course is doing something.
That's right. That's right.
So it's kind of like a big paradox, but I think it's just helping us get to that quiet stillness where we can just feel that stately calm.
Yes.
Which is what we really are, and it's helping us to disidentify with that wild, crazy thought structure.
Exactly. And that's what A Course in Miracles is teaching us to do as the means of healing our minds, which then makes the body healthy, serviceable. Is how to have peace in our minds. And so this is like a how-to manual for how to have peace of mind,
And picking up on that idea, it's just another way that the Holy Spirit is repurposing our idea of doing
Yes, thank
into
you.
something that leads us out of the darkness instead of further into it.
Exactly. And that's what A Course in Miracles is all about. It's like, taking what we've made, our busyness, doing, and say, here's something to do. Do nothing. Which is a hell of a lot harder to do than to, figure out all that I need to do. And I'm used to figuring out what I gotta do and then doing, and I got a list of things to do.
You only have to do it for a minute.
Exactly. But to do nothing for even an instant is like, woo, that's like some serious spiritual practice right there.
That's what it is to be. To
Yeah,
be what you are.
exactly. To do nothing is to be what you are, which is already adequate and worthy
And perfect.
and perfect now. You don't need to spend 100 more years of meditating and doing yoga and, detaching from the body and, fighting against the temptation for all the things you want for your body. Literally, it's a moment of withdrawing the body's value from your mind and making a place within you where the activities of the body cease to demand your attention. It's like can't even barely conceive of that. What do you mean, my mind being free from the activities of the demands of the body? What does it say? that where a place within you where the activity of the body ceases to demand your attention. I mean, you try it for a second, and then what's the first thing that comes up? I'm hungry, or something for the body. It's like, okay, I'm gonna do it for a second, and then you're like, and then something of the body comes up. I'm hungry, I'm tired, I need to do this, I need to pick up that, something for the body. So it is a practice. It's a it's like the highest practice. It's the most powerful practice. It accomplishes the most in the least amount of time. It's the most efficient, time-saving spiritual practice that I've ever heard of, that I've ever experienced. I mean, that saves us hundreds of years of contemplation, meditation, detachment from the body. Wow. But it's also one of the most difficult things you'll ever do. That's why you have to practice it. Because you'll be surprised, like, I couldn't even do it for a second. So.
I just have to add on to when I say I need do nothing. I say I need do nothing and be everything.
Beautiful. I need do nothing and be everything.
That's great.
That's beautiful. All right. So let's do the practice of doing nothing, shall we? All right. Wonderful. Okay. And then, are there snacks for afterwards?
There are.
And thank you for that. All right, there's snacks afterwards, so everybody join us afterwards. Thank you guys for watching on Facebook, on YouTube. All right, here we go. So I want you to close your eyes and take a breath. All right. All right, we are going to practice. So just breathe. And just notice how you feel, having heard these ideas with your mighty companions. First thing that I want you to do is I want you to bring to your awareness something that is something where there's not peace, somewhere where you're experiencing pain, discomfort, upset. Bring that to your awareness. And I want you to look at it in your mind's eye, and I want you to notice how this upset, that the center of this upset is something related to the body. I want you to notice that all the upset, the pain, the disappointment, the anger, the fear, the worry, notice that it's about the body, something related to the body. And I also want you to notice how the upset is controlled entirely by the past or the future. What you're upset about is something from the past or something that could happen in the future. Something that happened in the past or something that could happen in the future. Notice how this upset, this problem, is related to the past and the future and the body. Now, in order to experience the experience of the upset, 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 the experi the healing of our mind right now, all that is necessary is that we, for a moment, for one holy instant, without reservation, say to ourselves, I am willing to see no past or future. In this holy instant, I am willing to see no past and no future. Beautiful. And now what we're going to do is we are going to make a place within us where the activities of our bodies cease to demand our attention. So we're going to say to ourselves, I need do nothing. And experience within yourself, no need to do anything. And when your mind wanders to something you need, repeat the idea, I need do nothing. I need do nothing because I am already adequate and worthy as I was created by God. Withdraw the body's value from your mind. I am not a body. And breathe. And feel that quiet center within you. And feel this quiet center being filled by the spirit of healing. Feel the healing spirit now occupying that quiet center within you. Tune into this quiet center of the storm that remains quiet and calm, even while the world's activity rages around you. And listen for the voice of the spirit of healing who now lives in that quiet center within you. Listen for it guiding you. Know that it will be guiding you when you return back to the world's activity. I need do nothing. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, just take a deep breath and bring your awareness back to the raging worldly activity of the bodies around you. All right, you guys, all right, didn't that feel good? That's what it really means to rest. And that's what it really means to get yourself in a mindset of healing. So, beautiful. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you guys for being here. All right, you guys, come join us for snacks. All right. Love you guys. Let's see here. Here we go.